May I come in?
आ जाओ
Assalamu alaikum.
please. Comfortable then?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may like to introduce to all of us.
Sir, my name is Danial Khan. I belong to District Mardan. I did my bachelor's in civil engineering from NUST Islamabad. After my graduation, I have worked as a public outreach officer in a private company. Apart from that, I have also worked as a social media manager in a private tech ed firm. Since my childhood, I have had keen interest in sports, particularly cricket. I have represented my university in multiple tournaments like HEC tournaments and Red Bull campus cricket. Apart from that, I have also had interest in debating, and during my time in the university, I also participated in various societies, community services, and other societies as well. I have also had the honor of organizing several events during my university time.
So you want to join civil service of Pakistan?
Yes, sir.
Tell us something about Pakistan. What do you know about Pakistan?
Pakistan is a diverse country with a lot of different cultures, different ethnicities, different religions being spoken in this country. It has strategic significance as well as its economic significance has recently increased with respect to CPEC primarily, and it has always remained relevant in context of the geopolitical spectrum, and apart from that, it has rich we can say it has terrain. The terrain is really rich. We see the mountainous areas, then we see the southern belt. Apart from that, it has one of the longest coastal belts as well. So Pakistan overall offers a lot of diversity in terms of the territorial space as well as the cultural and the linguistic space.
So you have been a social media manager.
Yes, sir.
Tell us, what is the role of social media in politics? How do you see it in future?
In my opinion, the role of social media is ever increasing. Primarily now, it is especially after the revolution, the Arab Spring in 2012, we see that the role of social media has only increased. Now, people are more active and they voice their opinions through social media and the platforms over there. And it has the capacity to mobilize people on certain political issues. So, in my opinion, it will only increase in the coming time. Social media is here to
So
stay.
do you think there is a need to regulate social media through legislation?
Yes, sir, there is a need to regulate social media through legislation, but currently it is very difficult because, first of all, it is not a national, we can say that it is not in a national ambit. So it would take certain time, like how can we regulate? Currently, there are certain provisions like you cannot write something against any gender or ethnicity or even Islamophobic content for that matter. There are certain provisions, but I think there is a need for comprehensive policy to regulate social media so that it cannot be misused by for malicious intents.
Welcome to CSPs Academy for CSS PMS preparation. CSS PMS तहरीरी इम्तिहान के तमाम मज़ामीन की ऑनलाइन और ऑन कैंपस तैयारी के साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन, असाइनमेंट चेकिंग, क्लास टेस्ट, मॉक एग्जाम, इंडिविजुअल टीचर डिस्कशन और फीडबैक सेशन का इनकाद किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा FPSC की तजवीज़ करदा बुक्स से बने मयारी नोट्स और CSPs पब्लिशर की बेहतरीन बुक्स मुहैया की जाएंगी। Register now at 0316 570 1593.
Tell us, what are the fundamental sources of Islamic teaching and Islamic practices?
Basically, the sources of Sharia are Quran, Sunnah. These are the primary sources of Islamic knowledge. Apart from that, we have Ijtihad, through which we do independent reasoning. Then we have Qiyas, analogy. These are different sources of Islamic law that we use to come to a conclusion on a certain Islamic matter.
Identify only 3 economic challenges which, in your opinion, Pakistan is facing at the moment.
Currently, there are certain many issues, but the 3 prominent ones would be the fiscal deficit, the current account deficits that we called as the twin deficits. Apart from that, the tax to GDP ratio is very low in Pakistan. And the third, in my opinion, would be we have not been able to export the value-added exports, and we just export the raw materials. So these are three primary issues when we talk about the economic challenges of Pakistan.
अगर तुम यहाँ से निकलो, if you walk to that end of the road and you ask 7 people what he is facing as a citizen of the nation, वो क्या बताएगा आपको?
So he would tell me that there is inflation. That is one of the primary issues as well. Inflation has been ever increasing.
So thank you.
Why is regarded as the poet of the East?
Iqbal is regarded as poet of the East because of his several contributions, especially when it comes to like the revival of the reconstruction in Islamic thought. He's credited with that as well. Apart from that, he also played an important contribution when in context of the subcontinent in raising awareness regarding the Muslim nationalism. Initially, he was a proponent of pan-Islamism, but later on he changed his views. So these are the other contributions. Apart from that, his contribution to Khudi is considered as of paramount importance in Eastern philosophical tradition. That was a little different compared to the Western philosophies. So these three, in my opinion, are the important contribution.
What was the difference?
Sir, if we see the Western philosophers, for example, Nietzsche, he also had similar sort of views. But the Western philosophy mostly relies on the lack of morality, and it does not give consideration to the morality as well as the religious inclinations. Iqbal in contrast says that when we talk about the Khudi or self-actualization or self-affirmation, it cannot be devoid of the religious or moral aspects, and only through that we can move towards. So basically, it was in context of the declining Islamic values. I think that these Iqbal's ideas of Islamic revivalism, they are important in the Eastern philosophy.
How important is the working of a police station in the overall context of the police department?
Sir, police station is primarily the most important unit in the police system. This is where the people go to and take their complaints to, and basically FIRs are filed over there. So this is the most important center in context of the citizen. If we say the citizens have direct access to the police station. So in my opinion, its regulation should be improved as well, so that this process of
What is the problem at the police station? What needs to be improved?
There are several factors, primarily because it is alleged that it is generally said that the FIRs are not registered whenever a complaint is filed in the police station. Apart from that, when we talk about the cultural context of the country, we see that female are reluctant to go to the police stations to share the crimes that have been committed to them, for example, rape or other such things that happen. So these are the two primary factors, in my opinion, that needs to be improved regarding the police station culture.
Give your career a boost with CSS PMS preparation from Civil Services Preparatory School. Join CSS PMS for on-campus and online classes. Join us for your bright future. Civil Services Preparatory School, Jeetan Markaz, Islamabad. Register now at 0316 570 1593.
The Ukrainian war is getting serious every day.
Yes, sir.
Where in your view it is heading for? I mean, give your own views to us.
Sir, from what I have seen in the recent times is that it is a situation of stalemate, because the Ukraine has been provided support by the United States primarily and other Western allies. And similarly, we see that Russia is also expanding its control in the Ukrainian territory. It has occupied certain regions. It is moving towards the capture the Donbass as well. In my opinion, I think it would remain a situation of stalemate, and eventually we would come to an agreement between the Russia and the United States primarily, and the Russia would withdraw the forces. In my opinion,
Even after, you see, Finland, you see, has joined NATO.
yes, sir.
So, don't
Yes,
you
sir.
think it will increase the animosity there?
Yes, sir, the animosity would increase, but since both nuclear powers, I don't see it is a sustainable war for a long period of time. And given the scenarios of this century that we live in, I think it would eventually come to a halt through certain agreements where US might agree that it would not continue its expansion in the NATO and towards the eastern front of the Russia.
Do you think so?
Yes, sir. I think this is in my opinion.
You play cricket. Hmm?
Yes, sir.
So, with so much 2020 and one-day cricket being played all around the world, what is the future of Test cricket? Do you think one day these two brands of cricket, they will overwhelm Test cricket?
Sir, in my opinion, Test cricket would be there because we have seen that in the recent times there are rivalries. The Ashes rivalry that we see, it is whenever the match is being played, the crowd is full. So there is relevance. In the recent times, we have seen the matches have also been really interesting. The International Cricket Council has introduced pink ball and day and night matches. I think these steps are being taken to revive the Test cricket that has been declining. But generally, the volume of the Test matches being played would decrease eventually, and it would be the T20 cricket that would be there.
And you say you have leadership qualities. So what leadership qualities do you have?
Sir, leadership, in my opinion, is basically taking initiatives. I have taken certain initiatives during my university time. We organized a handball tournament as well all over the campus. It was a new sport, and we had to take a lot of steps to do its marketing and incentivize the people to come to that tournament. So I think we were persuasive enough to invite a lot of teams. Over 20 teams came to there. Apart from that, I've also been a director and manager in several societies in my university time. So I think these exhibit some leadership skills.
Okay.
Danial Khan, your third option is foreign service.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference between a high commissioner and an ambassador?
Ambassador is basically, I'm unaware of the exact difference.
No worries. Do you have any idea what an embassy structure is? Hierarchy? Who's on the top? Who's on the bottom?
I think at the top there is an ambassador that is there. Initially, there are assistant directors that are posted in grade 17. And then I'm unable to recall the exact name, but it is first something, second.
First secretary, second secretary, third secretary.
Yes.
Ajay, your favorite personality is Elon Musk.
Yes, ma'am.
Why is he so controversial?
He is considered to have a notorious personality. Every now and then he takes certain steps that incite certain debate. Currently, he removed the blue tick. Recently, he removed the blue tick on Twitter that was manipulated by a lot of people. So I think every now and then takes certain steps. So that is why he's controversial. Well, he's my favorite personality in terms of the initiatives he takes and the strategic vision that he has for the world. I think it is. I think it shows that he has a forward-looking outlook, and he dares to take certain steps that a normal person does not take. So these things
So he's
inspire me.
abnormal, he's not normal?
He is normal, but he is forward-looking and he has strategic vision.
So changing the bird to a dog, how is it forward-looking?
I'm talking in context of the space missions that he has and the vision he has to inhabit human race on certain other planet. I think it is a big vision.
Welcome to CSPs Academy for CSS PMS preparation. CSSPMS तहरीरी इम्तिहान के तमाम मज़ामीन की ऑनलाइन और ऑन कैंपस तैयारी के साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन, असाइनमेंट चेकिंग, क्लास टेस्ट, मॉक एग्जाम, इंडिविजुअल टीचर डिस्कशन और फीडबैक सेशन का इनकाद किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा FPSC की तजवीज़ करदा बुक्स से बने मयारी नोट्स और CSPs पब्लिशर की बेहतरीन बुक्स मुहैया की जाएंगी। रजिस्टर नाउ एट 0316 5701593।
So, you've read the book Factfulness. 10 reasons we are wrong about the world.
Yes.
Tell me 10 reasons we are wrong about the world.
I would try to recall the maximum reasons, but basically in this book, the author says that we have certain instincts in us, like we have the generalization instinct, we have the straight line instinct. Generalization instinct is that we tend to generalize things. Straight line instinct is that we tend to perceive things that they would go in a straight line. Like if the population is increasing, we tend to believe that it would keep on increasing. But he is basically a statistician, hence Rosling, who proves that it is not the case. Eventually population would decline, but it is our fear instinct as well, the negativity instinct that we have, that we tend to see things in terms of negative primarily. He argues that violence has declined in the 21st century if we see compared to the wars that were being fought in the previous century. So these are some of the things like proportion instinct that says that we tend to make things greater and more proportionate than they actually are. So similarly, there are certain 5 other instincts that generally portrays our general human nature and lack of statistical analysis of the things that are actually there.
You like cricket. What is your view on women's cricket and why is it not seen as much as men's cricket is watched?
Basically, primarily the issue is that infrastructure is not there for women cricket. Like if we see the academies over there, mostly they are facilitative of the men. Similarly, there are cultural taboos attached to female playing cricket as well. They have not been participating in cricket, and generally at the younger and tender age, they are not motivated to take part in such sport. So this is one issue, and for the same reasons, it is extended that people do not like to watch women cricket as well. Similarly, the cricket boards themselves have not been able to facilitate women cricket that much. Like we see in case of IPL, they have now introduced women IPL. So I think such sort of steps should be taken in our country as well.
Thank you very much. Dr. Sama.
Well, Daniel, suppose it's your hobbies. How you will address current political crisis and judicial crisis in Pakistan?
Being Hobbes, I would be the sovereign authority. So since already there is a lot of polarization in our country in the judicial fiasco that is there, I would make sure that I implement the law that has been already promulgated. When it comes to the judicial fiasco, we need to conduct the elections in the 90 days that have been there in the constitution. So since I have the sovereign authority, so I would implement the constitution in letter and spirit.
Good. Well, what you think? What is the novel feature in Turkish constitution?
I think the constitution is that I would like to take a guess that the president can remove the prime. Sorry, sir, I'm unable to
You
recall.
read constitution of Turkish?
So I have not revised it yet.
Okay. What you think? Iranian constitution is democratic or not?
Primarily, I don't think that it is democratic to a greater extent because of the appointments and the powers and that the supreme leader holds in the Iranian constitution. The appointments that he makes.
What is the role of guardian council?
So guardian council is basically the council of ministers in the Iranian political system.
Okay, can you tell 2 important features of Proclamation Act 1858?
In context of Indo-Pak subcontinent,
Yes.
Basically that act diluted the powers of the East India Company and they were transferred to the British Crown. That was one of the feature, and it also envisaged the more rights for the indigenous people of the country, the subcontinent.
Okay.
चलिए, let's close it. Let's have an informal discussion.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा देखो, अपना you are good. तुम काफी, तुम्हारी तैयारी पे कब है तुम्हारा इंटरव्यू?
सर मेरा इंटरव्यू परसों है।
अच्छा, परसों है। तो बस यार, बेस्ट ऑफ लक। एक अपना जो है ना, 1 पेजर बना लो, इंटरव्यू लिखो पहले 1 पेजर अपने बारे में। जस्ट राइट 1 पेजर टू बी डिलीवर्ड इन 1 मिनट। वो 1 मिनट में आपने डिलीवर करना है।
सर
इंट्रोडक्शन
यस
ओनली, कि मैं दानियाल खान हूँ और आई कम फ्रॉम देयर, दिस इज माय एजुकेशन एंड दिस इज माय एक्सपीरियंस। ठीक है, ब्रीफली सिबलिंग्स बता दो, माय फादर इज, खत्म। ठीक है ना? तो ये यू कैन देन टेल देम कि मैं आई हैव गॉट सम एक्सपीरियंस इन वर्किंग इन द प्राइवेट सेक्टर, जैसे टेट्रा और ये सोशल मीडिया मैंने। ठीक है, 1 मिनट में डिलीवर करना है। दैट इज द फर्स्ट कॉन्टेक्ट विद द पैनल तुम्हारा होगा। यू मस्ट इम्प्रेस देम विद दैट इंट्रोडक्शन। तुम्हारा इंट्रोडक्शन कमजोर था मेरे हिसाब से। ठीक है ना? यू नीड टू इसको 1 पेज लिखो, 1 मिनट में डिलीवर करना, इसको जब प्रैक्टिस कर लेना। ठीक है, बाकी आई विल नॉट से एनीथिंग बिकॉज यू डोंट हैव टाइम। ठीक है, बेस्ट ऑफ लक, कीप इट अप। आप सर कुछ कहेंगे तो?
हाँ, बाकी ठीक है, आपकी एनालिटिकल स्किल्स जो है वो अच्छी हैं, नॉलेज गैप है, उसको आप इम्प्रूव करें। ठीक है, और ये आखिर में ये पुलिस स्टेशन वाली जो मैंने आपसे बात की थी, वो आपकी रिप्लाईज इतनी सेटिस्फैक्ट्री नहीं थी कि पुलिस स्टेशन की वर्किंग जो है, पुलिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के उसमें ओवरऑल कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट इट इज़, वो जो है इस चीज़ पर आप देख लें, देन यू गो बैक। ठीक है, बाकी ठीक है। यू हैव द पोटेंशियल, ये हमने जो मार्क्स आपको दिए हैं, आप उससे ज़्यादा ले सकते हैं, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ। ठीक है, बाकी यू आर नाइसली ड्रेस्ड, विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट।
Yes, Danial, you have a good personality, good communication skills. जवाब ज़रा फोकस में रखो बेटा, और अब क्योंकि परसों है so there is very little time. अगर जो मेन हेडिंग जिस अखबारों में आ रही है वो उनके पॉइंटर्स बना लो ताकि इम्तिहान की रात में स्ट्रेस ना हो, एंड गो थ्रू देम, यू नो, क्योंकि अभी इतना पढ़ने का टाइम है नहीं। तो अगर पॉइंट वाइज कर लो तो फिर इम्तिहान की रात वो इंसान नर्वस हुआ होता है कि अब मैं क्या करूं। पाकिस्तान के फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स पता होने चाहिए, इस्लाम के अरकान पता होने चाहिए, बेसिक डाटा जनरल नॉलेज का ना, तुमने इम्तिहान तो दिया ही है जनरल नॉलेज का, उसको रिवाइज कर लो बेटा, इंशाल्लाह यू डू वेल।
चलो यार, डॉक्टर साहब आप कुछ?
थोड़ा सा नॉलेज गैप है, इसको थोड़ा सा एड्रेस कीजिएगा, कम कीजिएगा, रीडिंग कीजिएगा, जैसा कि अभी मैडम बता रही है पॉइंट्स में।
पॉलिटिकल साइंस अभी आज मैंने रिवाइज करने,
कोई बात नहीं है, पॉलिटिकल साइंस का इंटरव्यू नहीं है, बाकी सारी चीज़ों का भी है। तो आप देखिए, हाँ, इंडो पाक हिस्ट्री से क्वेश्चंस करते हैं पैनल वाले जो है ना, मतलब वॉर्स के ऊपर, कोई हिस्ट्री के इंडो पाक, उसको अगर थोड़ा सा पॉइंट्स में देख लीजिए।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है,
बेस्ट ऑफ लक।
थैंक यू सर।